Welcome to my YouTube Neov Story channel. Our story officially begins. I hope you like it. My name is Fisher Jiang. Due to a car accident, I unexpectedly died and ended up as a random person in an unfinished book. I have been in this world for 5 years, and I accepted this fact 4 years ago. Now I am basically familiar with everything around me. This year, I was able to get into the university of my dreams by relying on the memories of the past few years as well as the deliberate practice of the past 5 years. Not only for myself, but I also want to go see the male and female protagonists described by the author. In mid-September, the military training ended, and my university life officially began. Fisher Jiang, get up quickly, the training course is going to be late. Summer Sheng called out to me. Just wait a few minutes, I'll be right back. I answer. I did not hesitate to act, immediately got out of bed, tidied everything up, and rushed to the classroom, fortunately not being late. We two sit together, and we may be a group soon. I whispered in my roommate's ear. However, things did not go as planned, and I was assigned to the fourth group. Hello, my name is Fisher Jiang. Please look after me for the next 14 days. I smiled and said to my group members. Lin Chen. From Jiangning. He introduced himself, his voice cold and noble, his voice befitting his person. I looked at him, his appearance and voice were both the type I liked. Just, this name, Lin Chen I've repeated a few times in my heart. I didn't expect to come across the male lead so quickly, so the female lead should also appear soon. My name is He Hao, let's create a group where we can meet face to face. This way the group name will look nice and it will be convenient for us to discuss tasks in the future. He Hao said to us. I've just joined the group and already seen a few friend requests pop up in my WeChat contacts. As expected, the main character is not there. According to romance fiction conventions, the male lead character generally does not casually initiate contact with others. After those people's application, I put down the phone and started to listen to the lesson seriously. Time passed quickly, and the graduation day was approaching soon. Lin Chen and I represented our group to make the presentation. The presentation process went smoothly. Lin Chen would actively answer the questions that I could not respond to, with a calm tone and powerful words. In that moment, I felt a sense of relief. While observing the other group's presentations, I casually glanced at my phone and saw that Summer Sheng had sent me over a dozen messages in the dorm. When I opened them, they turned out to be photos of Lin Chen and me on stage for our presentation. Summer Sheng, just take pictures of me. Why did you also take pictures of others? I replied in the group. I've heard from Summer Sheng that your team has a handsome guy, and I've seen him today. Fisher Jiang, you're quite lucky. Su Lin said, and then quickly said another sentence. No, these two are both aloof and detached. Just looking at them gives a sense of don't disturb strangers and a solemn presence that doesn't need to get angry to be intimidating. How is it that when they come together, they seem to match? I approve. My honorable colleague suggests that handsome men and beautiful women together are pleasing to the eye, and that our group members are all infatuated with them. Summer Sheng, the culprit, posted in the group chat and attached an expression pack that looks rather vulgar. I can already imagine the expression on her face. I glanced at her and sure enough, anything you obsess over will only harm you. I am not close with him, and there is no ambiguous relationship between us. Why are you obsessing over this? I replied. Don't trip, it's too scary. The male protagonist is typically the female protagonists. Summer Sheng, take more photos, love to watch. Su Lin was not satisfied with those dozen or so photos, and directly at Summer Sheng in the group chat. Understood. After reading this sentence, I looked at her, our eyes met, and then I saw her baring her teeth and smiling foolishly. I sighed silently, such a beautiful woman, smiling so foolishly. Wah, Lu Qing, she bullies me. I complained bitterly to Lu Qing in the group chat. She is the dormitory director of our dormitory, and also the one with the best grades, and she is also extremely nice to people. Don't be afraid, I've got your back. Lu Qing replied to me. After reading the news, I exited WeChat and sat quietly in the audience watching the other groups present their defenses. I don't know how long it's been, but all the groups have finished their defenses, and our group got first place, which was unexpected. I knew our group should be near the top, but I didn't expect us to get first. After taking the award prepared by the teacher and saying goodbye to her, Summer Sheng took me to a new restaurant around the school to have a meal, as a celebration of the training being completed. As soon as I stepped out of the classroom, He Hao suddenly called out to me, Fisher Jiang, we have a group team building event tonight. Are you coming? After tonight, I don't know when we'll be able to see each other again. I'm undecided. I agreed to go out to dinner with Summer Sheng. Won't go tonight. I agreed to go out to dinner with a friend, or else we can wait until everyone has time, and I'll treat everyone to dinner later. Can you see it? When I finished saying this, without waiting for He Hao to reply, Summer Sheng next to me suddenly spoke up, Fisher Jiang, you should go to the team building event. It's such a rare opportunity, we don't know when we'll have the chance again. We're all from the same dorm anyway, and there are plenty of times we can get together. Why don't you come too? The more people the merrier, let's play together. He Hao spoke to Summer Sheng. Okay. They seem to have reached some kind of consensus. Summer Sheng has a bit of a social influencer vibe about her. When do we depart? Can I go back to the dormitory to put down my things first? Will I make it in time? I asked He Hao about the specific time for the team building activity. This can wait, it's 7 o'clock in the evening, there's still an hour left, you go drop off your things first, we'll meet at the East Gate later. Okay, I'll head back now. See you tonight. Then, Summer Sheng pulled me and we started walking towards the dormitory. Summer Sheng, take it slow, there's still plenty of time. I opened my phone to show her the time, wanting to prove that there was still a long time, probably about an hour. It's getting late, I need to hurry back to the dorm to do my makeup and change clothes. She looked at me, staring at my face to give you a makeover, even though you may not need it too much. Hey, Chuan, I'll definitely learn to do makeup in the future, no trouble to you. I love you, the beautiful Summer Sheng. I smiled cheerfully at Summer Sheng, who wouldn't like to be in a beautiful state. We finally finished everything 15 minutes before the assembly time. Look at the way you're dressed, are you two going on a date? Su Lin said, with a touch of delight. No, team building. How is it, does this floral dress look good? I just bought it. At the same time as I answered her, I was looking for a handbag to go with the dress in the closet. Fisher Jiang, no matter what you wear, your face is so beautiful that you look like a fairy goddess even with just a little bit of dressing up, okay? Su Lin said to me, then sighed deeply, how envious, Fisher Jiang, with good body proportions, clean and fair skin, and long and straight legs. Oh, heavens, please grant me a bit of beauty. Well, Su Lin, you should look in the mirror, you're not bad looking either. We've left first, if you want to have a late night snack, send a message to the group chat, I'll bring some for you too. Summer Sheng reluctantly said to Su Lin, then walked towards me and took my arm, ready to go to the gathering place. Alright, have fun. By the time we arrived at the meeting point, most of them had already gotten there. Sorry, I've kept you waiting for a long time. I slightly lowered my head to express my apologies to them. No problem, we just arrived as well. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. He Hao led us to that shop while talking. Dining restaurant. This newly opened restaurant has a lot of people coming to dine every night. The decor might be a part of it, and it's very suitable for group team building activities. Fisher Jiang, you look different today, more beautiful. Tian, a girl in our group, said to me. Yes, I came here with the beauty filter on today. I smiled happily at her. Everyone was amused by my words, and I didn't mind at all. Suddenly, I felt a strong gaze, and I looked in the direction of the gaze. It was Lin Chen. His thoughts are racing, he must be looking at me, because I look better than before. A few minutes later, I thought about it again, everyone is watching. Time slipped away bit by bit, and amid the laughter and chatter of everyone, this pleasant meal also came to an end. They then discussed going around the school. On the way, I asked He Hao who was paying for the meal. I'm not particularly close with them, but I still have to pay what I owe. His answer to me, Lin Chen. I plan to directly transfer money to Lin Chen, but I find that I don't have his WeChat account and don't know how much the meal cost. My gaze shifted from my phone to him, wanting to directly ask him about the meal money, but he walked very quickly, leaving me far behind, and He Hao walked to the very front. I'll wait until I'm in the room to ask. Summer Sheng, you can sing. I asked Summer Sheng, who was leaning on me as we walked. Alright, I'll show you a thing or two today. She confidently patted her chest and said firmly, as if making a promise to me, that she must sing tonight. Can I request a song? I would like to hear the song Tian. Is that okay? I think her voice is very suitable for this song, and it will definitely sound great when she sings it. No problem. She then hooked her arm in mine and urged me to walk faster, looking impatient to get going. Reaching the room, I chose to sit next to Lin Chen, to facilitate the later repayment. After everyone had come in, He Hao, as the organizer of the team building activity, sang the opening song. After he finished singing, Summer Sheng and the others rushed to grab the microphone, and I sat there watching their intense competition, unable to help but laugh out loud. Lin Chen looked at me following the sound, and I just turned my head. The smile on my face had not yet been withdrawn, the collision of our gazes, a little awkward. Sure, I can help you with that. Here's the English translation. So, I started to look for a topic. Lin Chen, can I get your contact information? Realizing it was a bit puzzling, I added that I would give you the meal money. Certainly, but you don't need to pay for the meal, I'll treat everyone. Lin Chen said, his slender fingers pulled up a QR code from WeChat and placed it in front of me. I don't know how to respond to the latter part of his sentence. After adding him on WeChat, I'll have time to think about it. I won't transfer the meal money. What is the point of adding Lin Chen? As soon as I heard Tiantian's melody, I knew their war had ended. After listening to her sing, I was still mesmerized. Summer Sheng has a confident self-assurance. Then she approached the others and discussed something quietly with them. After a while, she went up and selected a special song. I thought she was going to sing another song, but I was a little surprised by what she said next. She walked up to me and said, the next song is for Fisher Jiang to sing. She handed the microphone to me, and the others echoed her sentiment, so I had no choice but to go up. We are special to each other, willing to go to great lengths and unwilling to part ways. After singing the last line, everyone applauded me, and under the applause of the crowd, I returned the microphone to Summer Sheng. Summer Sheng then passed it on to the other students who were going to sing and returned to her seat next to me. Fisher Jiang, you can sing too, you don't look like someone who can sing. She looked at me with a believing expression, then sent me the video of me singing just now. I know a little, not much. I responded to her and saved the video she sent me, which will become the material for my circle of friends. Time slipped away without notice. He Hao is a very warm-hearted boy. He divided the 4 boys into groups and escorted the only 3 girls to the dormitory, ensuring the safety of us girls. He Hao and Lin Chen's dormitory just happened to be in the same direction as my dormitory, so the task of escorting me and Summer Sheng back to the dormitory fell on the 2 of them. Fisher Jiang, can I ask you a private question? He Hao suddenly spoke. I hesitated for a few seconds and replied, if it's too private, can I choose not to answer? Of course, it's your right. He touched his head and smiled. Do you have a boyfriend? I paused for a moment, looked at Lin Chen, and he seemed to be waiting for my answer, too. No. In that moment of answering, I caught a glimpse of Summer Sheng's gossipy expression. Are you interested in pursuing Fisher Jiang, or do you want to recommend a guy to Fisher Jiang? Summer Sheng inquired about the Bagua. I won't tell you, you'll have to guess it yourself. You're not answering, how stingy. Then Summer Sheng ran over to He Hao, wanting to ask what was going on, but He Hao kept being evasive. During their interrogation, Lin Chen and I ended up together. Silence is the Cambridge tonight, until he broke this awkward atmosphere, the latest mentorship program. Are you interested in signing up? His words reminded me of the message I had forgotten. Participate, I almost forgot. Thank you for the reminder. I looked at him with a thankful smile, and he stared at my face. After a few seconds, he continued to ask me, which advisor did you choose? Mr. Jiang was the teacher who taught us, so I might be more familiar with his projects. Suddenly I thought of something. I sighed and said I don't know if I can be selected. There should be many people choosing Professor Jiang, and the quota is limited. Believe in yourself, you are excellent. He comforted me. Haha, yes, I am excellent. I don't know if he was truly complimenting me or just comforting me. All I know is that I was complimented and I am very happy. Fisher Jiang, I'm being serious, you have strong abilities. He looked at me sincerely. His gaze was sincere, containing appreciation and some emotions I couldn't fathom. Our eyes met, and I was immersed in his gaze. Suddenly, a sound attracted our attention, the sound of a camera shutter. We looked towards the front, and Summer Sheng immediately put down her phone, as if nothing had happened. She ran over to me, grabbed my hand and walked, saying to them as they walked that our dorm is just up ahead, you all can go on ahead, no need to see me off, thank you for today, bye, good night. Once I got back to the dorm, before I could even ask about the photos, Summer Sheng had already sent them to me. What's going on between you and Lin Chen? The way you two are looking at each other is intense. Summer Sheng excitedly asked me, and when Su Lin heard Summer Sheng's words, she immediately ran over, and even Lu Qing, who was usually studying, stopped and turned to look at us. No problem. Seeing their disbelieving expressions, I recounted the entire process, then I fled their analytical territory. After that incident, I didn't see Lin Chen and the other group members for a very long time. Not until I passed the mentorship selection and followed the mentor for preliminary scientific research did I see him again. We are all part of the same team from now on, and we need to learn from each other. After our initial self-introductions, the mentor's first words to us were, "Let's set up a group chat first, so it will be more convenient for us to communicate and discuss in the future. I'll pull your senior sister Yi Su into the group later, you can ask her if you don't understand." Yi Su, the name that had been in my mind for years, was finally heard from someone else's mouth. Based on the author's treatment of the subject, following the usual pattern of novel writers, the female protagonist is likely to have arrived, and the male and female protagonists have both appeared, so the plot is about to begin. I was thinking to myself. I looked at Lin Chen, my eyes filled with confusion and anticipation. I don't know if in the end Lin Chen and Yi Su fell in love in this book. I'm very clear about my feelings for Lin Chen. Up to this point, I still have a little bit of a liking for her, but not much. Likewise, I also look forward to the upcoming plot direction, to see whether my arrival will lead to any changes. Fisher Jiang, why are you looking at me with that expression? Ah. I was momentarily stunned, not knowing how to respond to him. Nothing much. Why did you choose Professor Jiang as your advisor? Because I'm interested. Everyone has joined the group, let's all go back now, I've taken up too much of your time. After saying goodbye to my mentor, I did not go directly back to the dormitory, but rather found an empty classroom to review some IELTS practice questions and work on some calculus and linear algebra. By the time I finish writing this, there are far fewer people in the classroom. I picked up my phone and checked the time, it's 10:30. I then gathered my things, planning to go back to the dorm, wash up, and then lie in bed to read a book or study some literature. When I lay on the bed, I had time to look at my phone, then I saw a friend request from the mentor group, the applicant, Yi Su. Hello, senior sister. I am the new member of the mentoring program, Fisher Jiang. I look forward to your guidance in the future. I agreed to the application and sent a message like this to the senior sister, and then I went to browse through the senior sister's circle of friends. From the photos in her circle of friends, the senior sister is not particularly tall, with a gentle and elegant demeanor, a typical southern beauty. Gentle sister, gives a very good first impression, makes people want to get close to her. Hello, junior sister. You can come to me with any problems in the future, and I will do my best to provide you with the answers. I received the senior sister's reply in just a few minutes. Okay, senior. I'm sorry to disturb you then. I politely responded. I don't know. The next day, senior sister Yi Su scheduled a meeting during a time when we all had no classes, planning to talk to us about the advisor's project. I watched the confident and composed senior sister on stage. From her clear logic, language organization, and expression ability, she is very familiar with the project and is indeed the student valued by the mentor. The more you talk with the senior sister, the more you will find that she has many good points, such as being hardworking, gentle, and strong. I gradually understood that such an excellent girl, whether the heroine or the supporting character in the author's work, shines brilliantly and is worth being noticed. In my daily reading, I have only focused on the romantic storyline between the male and female protagonists, mythologizing the male characters through the competitive narratives and their idol-like love stories, while overlooking the shining, invisible excellent female characters. After that, I became more and more fond of the senior, often discussing the project with her and making progress together. Until one day, Lin Chen sent me a message. I suddenly realized that it had been a long time since I had last spoken to him. Have you been busy lately? It's okay, what's the matter? I replied to him. There has been an innovation competition recently, and our team is missing a member. Are you interested in joining? He immediately stated the goal and extended an invitation to me. We have previously trained the relevant content, and I will participate to apply what I have learned. Okay, I'll add you to the group chat soon. What time are you available tomorrow? We can discuss this in person. I exit the WeChat interface to check the course schedule. I really can't remember the course schedule, and it's my roommates who remind me to attend classes. There is no class in the first period tomorrow afternoon. Sorry, I just checked the class schedule. I have classes all afternoon. Do you have time in the evening? No problem, I often forget the course schedule too. Yes, yes. Okay, I'll go borrow the meeting room from the department, and I'll send the specific location in the group later. Good. Go to bed early. Good night. Good night. The next evening, I arrived 5 minutes early, but to my surprise, they had all already arrived. I looked around and walked to the empty spot next to Lin Chen. After sitting down, I found that they were all looking at me, and they were all boys. I smiled at them. Did they want me to introduce myself? I turned my head and looked at Lin Chen. He shifted his gaze from the documents to me, noticed my discomfort, and immediately spoke up to divert their attention. Everyone has arrived, let me introduce you. The person next to me is my classmate from the School of Economics and Management, Fisher Jiang. Hello. I waved at them with a smile. Hello, my name is, assistant's name. Lin Chen told me to put my hand down and then spoke. Long time no see, Fisher Jiang, do you still remember me, He Hao? He raised his bleached head and smiled at me. Of course I remember. But I blushed a little with guilt because I didn't recognize him right away. How could I have forgotten that he was the first group leader in college as well as Summer Shing's boyfriend? My name is Si Zhao, and I'm from the School of Mathematical Sciences. I looked towards the sound. It was a slightly chubby male student wearing glasses who was seated diagonally across from me. Mingda Gu, School of Mechanical Engineering. He wore glasses and had the appearance of a tech-savvy prodigy, just like Si Zhao. Except for Lin Chen and He Hao, who are both from the School of Computer Science, the others are from different schools. Our 5-person team will complete a project document within the next 2 months. After self-introduction, we spent hours discussing the topic. Okay, that's it for today's discussion. Go back and think about it carefully, and get some good rest. Lin Chen, as the team leader for this discussion, served as our leader and concluded the discussion. Seeing that the others had left, I also began to pack up my things and prepare to leave. At this moment, Lin Chen spoke up and stopped me from leaving my seat, saying, "Wait a bit, I'll take you back to the dorm." "No need, the distance is not far. The sky is too dark, and you are alone. Even at school, your safety cannot be guaranteed." This reminds me of a tragic incident that occurred at the neighboring university. I have completely compromised, so I'll leave it to you. Fisher Jiang, this is no trouble. On the way back to the dorm. Lin Chen, where do you want to work in the future? Prioritize the capital. Why didn't you choose a university in the capital city initially? I was not accepted into my desired major at the top university, and I did not want to attend other universities in the capital, so I decided to stay in my local area. It's okay, our school is not bad either, and you're not far from home, so it's convenient to go home. And you? I've loved this school since I was little, and I've worked hard to get in. Fisher Jiang, Lin Chen, it's so late, why haven't you two gone back yet? I glanced over and found it was senior sister Yi Su. She was accompanied by a young man I didn't recognize. On the way back to the dormitory, "Senior sister, why are you still here?" I answered the senior with a smile. "I am on a date." She also pulled the hand of the young man next to her. Date? What? The plot has deviated, or the senior sister is not the female lead. Does uncle know? I am still in a state of shock, and what Lin Chen said is even more shocking and bewildering to me. Don't tell my dad yet, I'll tell him when the time is right. Yi Su spoke to Lin Chen in a tone of warning. Hey, senior sister, Lin Chen, are you two relatives? I was confused, only knowing the pain of part of the plot. That's right, but not very familiar. Lin Chen looked at me and said, "Indeed not familiar, be careful, the other person has gone bad." Lin Chen looked at Yi Su with a warning gaze. Hey there, do you have a boyfriend? The senior sister can recommend excellent men for you. She let go of her boyfriend's hand, walked over to me, put her arm around my shoulder, and said in my ear, though not in a low voice, "Yi Su, mind your own business." Before I could respond, Lin Chen had already spoken up. The little sister didn't say anything. Why are you yelling? Yi Su refuted Lin Chen. I was pondering how to answer the senior sister's question. Lin Chen said it was too late and she needed to take her back to the dormitory. Let me not have to answer this question. I won't argue with you for the sake of the young lady. Yi Su said to Lin Chen, "See you later." I also responded to her in a perfunctory manner, and it was only after they had left that I set out on the way back to the dormitory. As I walked, I thought to myself that in the book, except for Yi Su's role, I didn't see much of the other girls' roles. Is this a story focused on the male protagonist's profession? What are you thinking about? Suddenly, a voice was heard. Ah, nothing? I shook my head. The dormitory is not far ahead. I think it's time to express my gratitude. Lin Chen, thank you very much tonight. You're welcome, it's on my way. Since you've said that, the sense of shame in my heart immediately dissipated. I waved to him and said goodbye and good night. On my way back to the dorm, he probably said good night, but I didn't hear it very clearly. If I had walked more slowly, perhaps I would have heard it. I really wish time could flow backwards for a while. His voice sounds very nice, and saying good night would surely also sound nice. Time always slips away unnoticed, and everyone will say that time goes by quickly. With the collaboration and efforts of our team, as well as the guidance of our mentor, our journey was not entirely smooth, but we persevered and ultimately received a national second-place award. This result was commensurate with the time and effort we had invested. All my achievements have witnessed my efforts. I am very satisfied with my freshman year, and I hope I can continue like this, relying on my own efforts to achieve financial independence, spiritual independence, and personal independence. Perhaps this is my lifelong goal. During this time, someone would always ask me why I don't have a romantic relationship. I can't answer that. I know what the physical reactions of being attracted to someone are like, but I'm not sure if that counts as liking someone. I'm always quite dull when it comes to emotions. As my first year of college formally ended, Lin Chen, my dormitory mates, and the members of the group I competed with, celebrated the new year together. It was then that I seemed to understand the feelings of having a crush and the joy that comes with it. Such a lively day, hot pot is indispensable, red and prosperous, everyone is very happy. I've always had a small appetite. After most people have finished their meals and are still enjoying themselves, when it gets a bit hot, I feel like taking a walk to aid digestion. So I let the others know and then go out. Lin Chen also came out unexpectedly. You've come out too. Are you not going to continue eating? I have eaten. Can we walk together? I would like to talk about something. Sure, let's go. Of course, if there's something going on, we're in it together. Let's go to a less crowded place. He walked ahead, seeming to have already decided on a location. I followed closely behind, at least 180 centimeters tall. It snowed today, wearing a Korean-style outfit of coat and scarf. Are we going to put on a ghost story? We have arrived. Woof woof, okay, what would you like to say? I get straight to the point. Do you know where I first saw you? During the training. I am not certain of the way. That was the second day of the new semester, in the library, when you were sitting in a corner, the sunlight shining on your side profile, and you held in your hands a book, looking up to the heavens. That is a book I really like. When I see it I read it again. He paused and then continued saying that in that moment, my heart was surging. I think that was the initial start of my affection. In the subsequent interactions, my fondness for you has grown day by day. It slowly developed into liking and love. I have been preparing my mind for a long time, and today, I convey my liking to you. I paused for a moment. I was already nervous when he started to speak. After hearing his words, my mind went blank. Half a minute later, I said a word without thinking. Do you want to date me? I was waiting for a reply, and the message my heart was sending me was that I hoped to receive a positive answer. Yes, I want to, very much. My taut mood relaxed, followed by a blossoming of my heart. I understood that it was a stirring of the heart and affection. I looked at him, and he also seemed nervous, his eyes full of hope but daring not to act rashly. Let's give it a try, okay? I stared into his eyes. I didn't wait for him to reply, then expressed my own thoughts. However, I want to make it clear, I currently only have a slight liking for you. I may come to like books, piano, or other hobbies more in the future. Can you accept that? I want to express more, but within the limited time, I don't know how to organize my words to express myself. My honor, girlfriend. He accepted everything he said. The future is long. I think we will love each other more than we do now. That moment, I fell in love, in the snowy weather, in the winter, with Lin Chen. We should go back. He said. I nodded. They walked in sync towards the hot pot restaurant. Along that stretch of road, I didn't know where to put my hands, whether to keep them in my pockets to keep them warm, or to let them hang near Lin Chen's, so that he could take my hand if he wanted to. In the end, they were all put back in the pocket. As they were dating, it's better to keep a low profile, and not let their roommates and friends see it. They proposed going to sing. This is my second time going to that place, both times with Lin Chen. I don't need a reason this time, I just sit next to Lin Chen. Only this time, unexpectedly, Lin Chen also participated in the microphone grabbing. He took the microphone straight to the song request station, and a special person appeared on the screen. That's right, he was going to sing Special Person, the song I sang the first time I came here. At this moment, I want to pick up my phone and record this moment, but I also want to do nothing and just sit there, watching him and quietly listening to him sing. In the end, I did not pick up my phone to save this moment, and I still feel a little regretful afterwards. On a later day, when the topic came up, I told him this idea, and he said, "Don't feel regretful, I will sing for you for a long time, as long as you want to hear it." There is 1 minute left. I squat down and want to send blessings to my family, close friends, and Lin Chen. Happy New Year. I sent my last message to Lin Chen, and I didn't exit the page, thinking about replying to him and continuing the conversation with him. His blessings arrived earlier than mine, so it seems I should reply to him, as he told me the first message was for me. Well, my thoughts are completely opposite to his. My days with Lin Chen were quite ordinary, without the many obstacles and setbacks found in idol dramas. Falling in love can be simple. If you like someone, just say it. If it's not a good match, just part ways. I am still myself, not anyone's accessory. Lin Chen and I possess the same infinite power. He fulfills his dreams, and I fulfill mine, shining in our respective realms. In addition to learning, we go for walks, travel, and play the piano. I really enjoy this kind of life. And so, Lin Chen and I spent 3 years together. In the year of our master's program, our senior Yi Su was getting married. We were invited to her wedding banquet to witness her happiness, and I was genuinely happy for her. Summer Sheng and He Hao are still together, although Lu Qing went abroad to study at some point, with ups and downs. Summer Sheng and Su Lin did not continue their studies, with Summer Sheng becoming a selected civil servant, and Su Lin joining a state-owned enterprise. In recent years, I am very grateful to the people around me, their encouragement and tolerance, and the strength they gave me when I needed it, especially my parents and Lin Chen. Everyone is moving towards a good outcome. That day, after returning from the wedding banquet, Lin Chen and I were walking on the street and chatting. Yes, everyone is moving towards a positive outcome, and we are too. He took my hand and walked back. Thank you everyone, especially you. I spoke from the bottom of my heart. He smiled and gently patted my head, saying, "Then let it be you and me forever. If you are still as good as you are now in the future, then I will agree. I will be this way forever. We will be together forever." Good. We walked hand in hand, under the moonlight and streetlights, back to our home.